we tend to think in common culture, the entrepreneur has to be the solo person out there. Whereas like a wolf who's a lone wolf is not as successful as a pack wolf. When there's a threat to the sheep, what do the other sheep do? They scatter. But a wolf pack, if you attack a wolf, all the other wolves are coming to help you. We protect our own, where the sheep all scatter. And so like this is the main problem for a lot of entrepreneurs, is that we don't have our pack. You got to find your pack. Entrepreneurs, and see if you relate to this or not, it's like you are loyal, you will fight for your friends, right? So like we're very protective over who we trust, and once you're in, you're in. And so, but we end up defaulting to going by ourselves, where like you won't have the most success solo. You need to get into a pack of people who are running with you and will have your back when times get tough.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days, and let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag believe in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. Need motivation?
Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
So today, let's learn from me and my team's take on my top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is say yes to opportunities.
Say yes to opportunities. And a lot of times when opportunities come our way, we find ways not to do it, not to say yes, not to follow through. Like you're here, you flew in from Idaho to come here for this opportunity. And I had a few spots open today, and I messaged a couple of people, and you said yes, right? Like, yep, I'm in. Perfect. A lot of times people find reasons why they can't do it, right? Like, oh, I have something else in the way. Oh, I have to be at my job. I have whatever else, right? And so opportunities like that don't always come along. And so when they do, what do you do about it? Do you find a way to make it happen, or do you find a way to stay in your current situation, right? There's a guy who is based out of Vegas, where you're originally from, and he messaged me, and this is a couple years ago, and he said, "Hey, I'm starting a new show. I'd love to have you as a guest on my show. I want to do it in person." It's like, okay, well, if you come to Toronto, it's like, okay, okay. Like, you're gonna come here, okay, cool. So then the next week, he and his camera guy hopped on a plane from Vegas, came here at this studio, we filmed it. Travis, I don't know if you know Travis Chappell or not, but we filmed it here, and then he flew home like that night, took the red eye back home. It's like, I love this guy.
That's
right?
awesome.
And he's become a friend since, because I remember that. And there's other people who was like, oh no, I can't make it because of this and that. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm moving on to somebody else.
Right.
So opportunities will come, but they may not be convenient for you.
Right.
And so it's like saying yes to the inconvenient opportunity, because like this is your chance to go to the next level in your career.
Rule number 3 is discover your own path. Whatever you grew up doing, whatever your parents did, whatever you went to school for, is probably not the thing that you're going to be greatest in the world at. So, me, I'm here making YouTube videos. It's not something my parents did. And understand that your parents are pilgrims, right? I mean, your parents probably love you. Probably. There's a good chance they love you. But if you're 29 years old, if you think about when your parents were 29 years old, the opportunities available to them at 29 versus you at 29 is completely different. Your parents at 29 years old did not have options. They had to go get a job. Like, they had to be crazy. If you were an entrepreneur when your parents were 29 years old, they had to kind of be unemployable. Now it's possible. And so a lot of time we perceive the lack of love or lack of support as like, why don't you encourage me? Why don't you believe in me? Why don't you help me on my path and my dreams? They come from a different world. It's not that they don't love you. They just don't understand, because they're from a completely different generation. Totally. And so it becomes on you to say, I'm going to go and live my life now. And I remember when I was in my 20s, I was with a family member in Italy. I'm half Italian, and one of the most successful people kind of in his community in Italy. And he said, in your 20s, you're kind of figuring out who you need to be. You're saying yes to a bunch of things. You're playing around. You don't have to take your life too seriously. But in your 30s, now's the time to focus. Now's the time to learn to be a man. you know? And I guess it stuck for whatever reason, because I'm telling you now here on your show. I don't think I've ever told that story before. And so it's like, it's okay to play around. It's okay to pursue your interests, but now it's time to take it serious. It doesn't mean that you stay with one thing forever, but it's time to break out of the shell. It's time to shed the skin of what your family expects you to do, your friends expect you to do, your community expects you to do. Go be the Australian who goes to Vancouver and sells TELUS packages, right? It's like, there's no more reason to blame the people around you and your circumstances and your upbringing anymore. Rule number 4 is just start.
Can you share your journey with us a little bit about YouTube, about starting your channel and getting to the level that you got right now with the subscribers and the views? Would you be able to give us a little bit of the journey on that?
Yeah, I mean, I started YouTube and first video was 2009. I opened the account in 2008 and then just didn't post like all of us. You know, you just get the name and you don't do anything with it. So posted in 2009. And I mean, it's a different world, Jacob, compared to what it used to be. Nobody had 1 million subscribers. Nobody was doing interviews. Like a 6-minute video was like way too long on YouTube back in the day. So I had people's like, how did you know? I didn't know. I'm not Nostradamus. I had no idea this is what it was going to be. I just like video. Like, I'm a visual guy. I like seeing things. The fact that I can see you is so much easier. If we were doing a phone interview, I'd be super focused because auditory is the worst. The fact that I can see you and your reaction just makes it easier for the way my brain works. So at the time, YouTube was the only video platform. And now everybody does video, but YouTube is still like if you want long form video, it's still YouTube. You're not going to go watch a 2-hour long podcast on Instagram or Twitter or anything else. So I just got started and I had a lot of flaws. I made a lot of mistakes. I did 350 videos before I didn't absolutely hate my videos. Like, I was too embarrassed to watch my videos back because I just felt like I sucked so much.
I feel like I'm the same way. I don't like watching a lot of videos.
But it's like it's a mistake too, right? Like, yeah. I should have. Like, that's kind of stupid. It's like, if you're going to fight 350 times and never watch the tape back, like, it's like not smart. Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing. But the only thing I had going for me was I just kept going. I just kept making. I just kept creating another one. And if 50 people watch my video, a lot of times people think, oh man, only 50 people watch this? It's like, man, I suck. How did only 50 people? I'd say, man, 50 people watch this. Like, if you went to a library and gave a presentation in front of 50 people, you'd be nervous. You know, like, here I am. 50 people saw this? That's epic.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video.
The worksheet will highlight our favorite lessons from the video that will inspire you to remember what you learned today and actually apply them.
The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Rule number 5 is make connections.
How do you go about making the connection with these amazing, amazing entrepreneurs? What's the first step?
Pay attention to where the person you're trying to target is themselves personally. If you tried to get a hold of me through my main YouTube channel or even through Instagram, it would be rough because I have barriers up because lots of people are trying to access me that way. On my YouTube gaming channel right now, there's, 8 people who show up in the chat consistently, right? So like, if you're one of those 8 and you're giving love, I'm going to pay attention to you, right? And I stream for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, 4 times a week, typically. And if you're there, you have access to me. And so you reverse engineer that. Whoever you're trying to get, where are they spending their most time right now? And you want to be there, giving love, giving value. You could be on my LinkedIn all day long, posting great comments and feedback. I'm just not seeing it.
Right.
Just because that's not where my attention is right now. So that's step number 1. Step 2 is once you get something, so you got this with me, now you should look at who is following me on Instagram and then doing outreach to them to say, hey, we had Evan Carmichael on. Do you want to come on? And Evan Carmichael means nothing to most of the world, but to people who follow me on Instagram, they know who I am. If they're already following me, they're following me for a reason. They may not know who Mark is yet, but, oh, Evan was on? Okay,
that's cool. Maybe I say yes. And if you're trying to get after somebody bigger, if you wanted to have Grant Cardone on, I would look at everybody that Grant follows on Instagram. And there'll be some big names who will be impossible to get, The Rock and whoever else. But there's going to be a bunch of smaller names on there too, who would actually be super easy to get. And if you have something that you like about their story, so now, Grant follows me on Instagram. If you had me, and then you had 3 or 4 other people that Grant followed who are smaller, who you may not have heard of before, but they came on your show. And again, it's not just about the biz dev to get the grant. They have to have a story. They have to have something that, authentically you would want to share with your audience, right? It's not just for the access. But if you got 4 of those people on and then you reached out to Grant to say, hey, Grant, we had these 4 people on. Do you want to come on next? It's a much higher chance of a yes because, all these people said yes who I follow and I know. He's much more likely to say yes. So that, like bringing value to where they're paying attention and then hacking who they're paying attention to as well so that you have a little more credibility going in the door.
Rule number 6 is ask for help.
I think always afraid to ask for help. I was afraid of disappointing other people. I had a lot of insecurities. And so it took me a lot longer than I think it needs to take people. Like part of it is I'm still, as much as I'm going off on people, say, hey, get started, go do it. I'm still talking to myself from 19, right? I mean, your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled the most with is what you want to help other people not have to suffer through. So, it took me a long time before I was willing to ask for help, to get some coaching and mentoring. Steve, who's still my agent today, I don't know how many years ago now that was when he first helped me, but gave me some great feedback and advice for me to get better. And I did the work and I slowly got better. I mean, I have over 10,000 videos now on my channel. Not all of them are public because a bunch of them are practice sessions. But 10,000 videos. Like forget the 10,000 hour rule. It's like 10,000 videos on the channel. It's crazy. This is a lot of work, but for me, I'm introverted, I'm shy, super uncomfortable in front of the camera. All of the things that I think your audience could probably get there a lot faster than me if they didn't do as many stupid things as I did. And that's partly why I want to get on and share the message.
Rule number 7 is foster perseverance.
If you go to my homepage, it shows you scroll down a bit, it shows the year over year progression. It's like year 1 was 25 subscribers. Year 2 was like 100 or 200. It took me 5 years and I still only had a couple thousand subscribers. Like if you're fighting for 5 years and you're still losing every fight, it's like, maybe you shouldn't be a fighter. Like you're kind of doing something wrong. But I just kept going. So luckily I did everything wrong, but I just kept creating, I kept making. I never wanted to be famous. That's not in my DNA. I'm an introvert, man. I don't like the spotlight. But I wanted to serve. And so as I even just slowly grew, it just felt more and more that, hey, this is helping people. So I'm going to keep going. Now I got smarter. I made better decisions as I got into my career and try to make the path. We do training now to try to make the path like easier for people because most people won't be as hard-headed as me or stubborn to just keep going for 5 years before you see any kind of results. But I believe in YouTube as a way to spread a message. It's like I think the world needs more hope and positivity and optimism, and YouTube is the place to get it out there.
Rule number 8 is be consistent.
Just staying consistent on the thing. A lot of times, I don't know how many times it took you to make a video before your channel started to take off. For me, it was a lot. I had, I don't know how many years, 5 years to get to 2,000 subscribers or something like that. It's just, the only thing I had going for me was I just kept going, right? I wasn't very good on camera. I didn't have any strategy. I didn't really know what I was doing. I felt insecure all the time. I was introverted and shy and like not a natural entertainer, but I just kept going. And so a lot of times the answer is just keep going, just stay consistent, just make another one, just make another one. And I think if you're always focused on the next one you're making and not so worried about, oh, my last one didn't do as well or wasn't as good a thumbnail or whatever, it's like, okay, just like you sucked at, perfect, make the next one, keep going. There's always another one that you're going to keep doing. That's the only thing that I had going for me in the early days. And a lot of times it really is just continuing to show up because in the showing up, you will slowly get better. You might be naturally talented, amazing, but you will, even if you suck, you will get better. You will slowly get better at the skill, and opportunities will come to you if you're in the game. But like, you don't get opportunities if you're just sitting thinking about the game. You got to be there in the game. And a lot of times we feel like we're just striking out and striking out and striking out, but it's like, it's another at bat, and then eventually you get a hit, and then you keep striking out and you get another hit, and you slowly get better. And it's you can play forever, right? I mean, it's like, you can keep doing this. It's not like in a year YouTube's going to go away and now you're not going to be able to make it.
Rule number 9 is find yourself.
What do you think that means nowadays when you say, like, it's time to be a man? Because I feel like as I've gone through my early 20s and then into my 30s, that message has become way more popular of what being a man means and way more confusing. Like, what do you think that means to you?
I would put it in life stages, not so much age, but more life stages. So I think the first part is you're staying on your own 2 feet. So you're searching for the path that makes you happy. That is probably, again, not what you went to school for or what your parents did. That you have moved out of the house and you're supporting yourself. It doesn't mean that you're off making millions yet, but you're not now relying on mom and dad to pay for everything and support you through everything. That you're becoming independent along this journey of self-discovery as well as your career path. But you're becoming an independent person in every sense, in the financial sense, in the self-esteem sense. Like, you don't need your parents or people around you to say, "Good job, Josh. That was really awesome." And like, that's how you get your validation, right? And it's often doing something completely different that they may not agree with. And it's you not holding yourself back from that opportunity, even if they don't understand it. You're not living your life to please the people around you anymore.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is take risks.
You need to start with the heart. And our brain often will our brain's designed to keep us small, keep us safe, keep us protected. And it doesn't agree with the things your heart wants to do. Like, come to Toronto and do this thing with Evan. It's like, yeah, but this is stupid. All of the reasons why.
I lost my voice. I should cancel a flight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, right? And that all makes logical sense. And like, your brain keeps you safe, where your heart wants to create something brand new. And so you need both. But the big decisions are with the heart, and the starting point is with the heart. That's where creativity is born.
Right.
And then as you get going, you can use your brain to figure out, do I keep doing this? How do I inject the science into it? So top 10 profiles, yeah, I love that all day. Let's get smarter at it. Dance challenges, one and done.
Right.
But it gets back to the story, like, it didn't start with science. It didn't start with target market. It didn't start with knowing your audience. It didn't start with creating an avatar, right? It started with, I'm gonna do a tour review. I don't know, there's this dinosaur here, let me do this tour review. And whatever sparked the seed after that, whether the video did well, or you got a couple comments, or it was just fun to do, or like, I could do more of this, then you brought the science in, and that's how you blew up, a channel to having 1 billion views.
Right.
But it starts with the seed of creativity that you just said yes to and followed.
How do we believe in ourselves when just absolutely nothing is working, when we're seeing no results for what we're doing? How do we still believe in ourselves in those moments?
I never saw it as getting no results. If 50 people watched the video, I'd be like, 50 people watched this video. I think we have, we might look to other people and say, well, look at what look at what Joe Rogan is doing. And then you feel like a total failure, with your podcast, because Joe Rogan is off there crushing it. But if you flipped it and said, who am I serving? Who am I helping? That's just what I defaulted to. And if you think about it, if you went to go give a speech at a library or an event or something, and there were 50 people in the room, you'd be excited. It's like 50 people are here to hear me say something. This is pretty wild. But if 50 people see your video, it's like a total failure. You suck. I'm terrible at interviews or videos. I should quit. And so I always just focused on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't, because the who I wasn't serving game is never ending. There's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody further ahead. And you can use that as aspirational. The fact that Joe Rogan exists and he can have $1 billion podcast, that's great. Like, that can serve as inspiration, but you shouldn't use it as a kickdown to say, well, I suck and I'm never going to make it. look at the people who I am serving. So that's what I always just, and even now still default to, is that whoever's watching this, like this interview right here, I don't know how many people are going to see it, but for somebody, I'm going in thinking that this interview for somebody is going to be a life-changing moment for them. That's my intention. Whether we create it or not, I don't know. But that's the intention going in. And if you showed up with that intention, you will start to have the impact that you're looking for.
What are some real key takeaways you can think about that can help somebody leverage just how they can be perceived as a home service type business?
I don't know anything about you. I'm going to price shop. If I think that you are the same as every other plumber, what do I have? The only thing I have left is price. But if I know you and I trust you and I feel like you're going to do a good job, then I'll pay more for you versus somebody else. And so are you giving people the reason to pay you more? So when Jake did my soundproofing, I didn't even know how much it was going to cost. And when he gave me a quote, I said, okay, that's the quote. We didn't negotiate. I didn't take that to other soundproofing guys because I love Jake because of the video. And so when we say clients are really cheap or they're price shopping, some of them might be, and some of them might be only looking for like the lowest cost possible. But a lot of people, the only reason why they're price shopping is because they have no alternative. You haven't given them any information of why they should pick you over somebody else. So this is where our content comes in. So I think the first video everybody should make is your story. Why do you do what you do? And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be in a studio. You could be in your van, a little bit of sunlight on you. Don't film it at midnight or something and I can't see your face, right? And whether you speak right into the phone or you use like a headset or something, don't go buying crazy microphones and just tell me why you do what you do. And just try to make it as heartfelt as possible. Like imagine you're talking to a client and the client saying, hey, why did you start this business in plumbing anyway? There's got to be some story, and just tell me that story, or think of all the different stories that you're telling clients all the time and just make that video. And that's a great video, not just for YouTube, but for your website. So when somebody lands on your website and they're trying to figure out, do I hire this guy or this guy? I just want it fixed. You have this video telling me about your story where everybody else doesn't. So if I make one connection to your story, I'm already picking you, and I would pay more for you versus somebody else.
Hack your network. So this one is very valuable because there's probably people who you're connected to that you don't even know that you're connected to. And so there's a couple ways to look at this. The first is through YouTube. So on YouTube, if you go to your dashboard, there's a little card that shows you your recent subscribers. So last 90 days, it'll show you here, last 90 days, and it'll show you who subscribed to your channel. So when I go to mine, I see that Coachy, Danny Mac, Global Video Pro 1, all subscribed to my channel in the past 90 days. And what they do is they sort it by the channels with the biggest subscribers. So all of you right now could go do this, or after this session, you can go look at your own channel and see who has subscribed to your channel, because these people are going to be easier to do collaborations with. If you reach out to them and you find out their email address or Instagram handle, it's a lot easier to get a yes because they already know who you are. They already like you because they've subscribed to your channel. And so it's much easier outreach. You can then click that see all button, and everybody should have this card. This was an experimental card a while back, but everybody should have this now. It's kind of buried on the page there. You got to scroll down. So dashboard, and then scroll down, find recent subscribers, and then click see all. So then you click see all, and what happens is it'll take you to a giant page, and you can switch it to lifetime. So at the top, it defaults to 90 days, but then you can switch it to lifetime. And then this will show you everybody who has subscribed to your channel that has significant subscriber count. So this is mine, right? This person has 5 million, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 2 million, 1 million, or whatever, 2 million, 2 million. We're getting there. So of this list, the only one that I've done it with is Tom. So I've done a couple of collaborations with Tom in the past, and he was gracious enough to read a section of my book, Built to Serve, and use that for our promo pieces. The other ones I haven't. I undervalue this strategy. The amount of work to kind of reach out and then back and forth. I just haven't prioritized it. I don't see it as a huge win. Even though some of these channels are bigger than me, right? I'm almost at 3. So we've got 3 of these channels that are bigger than me. This one is almost double my size. I don't know what she does. I think she's more like lifestyle in Russia or something. This guy does cartoon psychology. I don't remember what Gavin does. I think it's lifestyle vlogging kind of thing. So it requires some creativity, right? If Chris is finding that there's a Fortnite channel that is subscribed to him and they've got an audience, well, maybe your music could be on in the background for his next Fortnite series. Like maybe we make a special playlist for him that's an hour of your music back to back, and he has a special, maybe he even streams with you. Maybe you learn Fortnite, or maybe you're already a pro at Fortnite and you do a session together, right? And your music's on in the background, that kind of collaboration. If you find it fun, it could be really good. Again, the work to set up. So now it's thinking about what's the value that you could bring their channel. Like, what are you an expert at that they need help with, that they're not good at, that they could use some content for? First off, if you go to their about page, there's usually some kind of contact information. Like, you go to YouTube, look at their channel, and there's an about tab. Click on that. It'll show you contact information typically for them. Often it's an email. If not there, then you've got a Twitter or Instagram account that you can connect to. That's how you reach out and you say, hey, thank you. Hey, it's Nicola. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It's awesome. Do you want to do some kind of collaboration together? I'd love to make a video on your channel about 1, 2, 3, right? So you look at their channel, you see what they're great at, and don't just do the exact same thing that they're great at, because that's competitive, but what are they missing? And then those could be topics for you to be able to reach out to and share.
Brain is really an emotion. What do I feel when I'm around Terry Wade Thompson? And the more you can make it easy for people to explain the brand and put a pulse on what that is, the easier it is for people to spread the message for you. The issue of changing it every year is that then you're not the same. I mean, you're the same Terry Wade Thompson, but you're making the message different every time for people to be able to spread the message for you. So the Believe guy, people know me as the Believe. Every day I get DMs of people taking a picture of Believe somewhere, a Believe sign, a Believe postcard, Believe something in the thrift store. Grant Cardone taking a picture of his kids wearing Believe pajamas. Like, that's what people know me for. If I said, hey, 2022, I still love Believe, but we're about whatever else, I'm about freedom. Then I never build enough of a brand, because I'm the freedom guy for 12 months and then I'm something else for another 12 months and nothing ever sticks. So it's okay to have different themes for the year, but like, what do you want to be known for? Is it unbreakable? Is it change? Is it something else? And that you can see yourself in 5 years and 7 years and 10 years still deeply caring about that thing, so that you actually allow for the momentum to build.
Whoever's more confident wins. So when you're trying to build confidence around something and you don't have a lot of confidence in it, you don't want to be around people who are really negative or doing something completely different, because who's more confident, you in your ability to do this thing or them in their inability to do anything, right? They're way more confident in their loser is the wrong word, but in their mediocrity or their being stuck, right? Like, they're more confident in them being stuck than you in growing. And so whoever's more confident wins. They'll pull you down. You won't pull them up. They'll pull you down because they're stronger. It's a stronger wolf, right? True. So their wolf is strong. Your wolf is not strong. Your wolf dies. So while your wolf is gaining strength, you need to not be around these other wolves. Until you get to the point where your wolf is so strong, it doesn't matter what these guys are doing. So if you bring me in with your friends who are clubbing and drinking and whatever, if we spend enough time together, I'm going to pull them up. Because I'm more confident. My positive wolf is stronger than their negative wolf. So they're going to start to doubt themselves and what they're doing. I don't even have to convince them. If they were just hanging out here, if they came here every day and they started hanging out, they're going to start to think, maybe I should stop just having weed every day. Maybe I should do something with my life. They will naturally start to do it because the environment creates it. And I am more confident in the ability for them to grow. Like, I believe more in them and where they could be than they disbelieve in themselves. And so I'll pull them up. But at the beginning, you're not strong enough. Like, you can't do that. And don't worry about it yet. Don't even make that the goal or the ambition. That can be later. When you get so strong that then you can bring anybody into your orbit.
If you start to build your audience on your YouTube channel, or you send some emails out and people start to watch and you start building a base on YouTube. It doesn't have to be a big base, but what ends up happening is, who are the people who are watching from your channel? They're going to be people who are in Norway, who speak Norwegian, who care about these kinds of topics, personal development kinds of topics. YouTube will start to recommend them your videos more because they've watched one of your videos. But if they start watching a lot of your videos, it'll start recommending it to people who are like them. So other people who are from Norway, who care about personal development, who have a similar profile, who've never heard of you, who might be just watching Tom Billieu or my channel or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden, wait, what? But if they see it in Norwegian, it's like, wow, somebody's making content in Norwegian, even though I'm used to watching it in English, let me go watch it here. When we do subtitles in Spanish, for example, and I mean, a lot of the languages we've done subtitles in, even if they're in the US, they'll switch it to their language. So our Spanish channel has a big audience in the US. They speak English, they're looking in English, but they switch it to Spanish because they'd rather consume it in their native language. They'll do it in English if they have to. You know, people in Norway speak English at a pretty high rate, but they'd still rather consume it in their own language and have to go through the process of understanding. And not all the words may make sense, and if they're new to personal development, they may not understand some of the things you're saying, but in the native language is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So it'll start getting recommended to people who are like the ones watching your videos. And then they see you pop up with Norwegian titles and thumbnails, like, who's this?
Interesting.
So the trick is, and I'll show you how to do it at Mastermind, that when you're sharing a link to a video, it goes to a playlist of all your videos so that we control where they go next, so that when the video ends, it automatically goes to another video on your channel, as opposed to the video ending.
Yeah.
So if we can train people that when they watch one video, they watch 5, they watch 8, other people are going to start seeing your videos a lot more who are like them. And geography is a big part of that.
You just believe every single day. Is that something that you learned from someone else, or is that something you kind of created yourself?
It came as a result of, one, my parents would always tell me I'm Evan Carmichael. I could do anything that I believe that I can. But then as I started studying successful people, and people listening, I guess, if you don't know my YouTube channel, I profile all sorts of different successful people and what you can learn from their success. It was the number one thing that just kept coming up over and over and over again. And I started only profiling entrepreneurs. And then we eventually evolved to athletes and singers and inventors and scientists. And no matter what, the people who have had the most success in any field are the ones who believed in their abilities to make something happen when it didn't seem possible, where nobody had done this before, where everybody thought they were crazy, that they just shouldn't try, or they don't have the right resources or skills or family or education, or they're born in the wrong country or have the wrong skin color or whatever. And they just believe that they could do it. And more often than not, they end up doing it.
If you just show up every day, just winging it each time, you don't get better. Like you can keep doing reps and stay stuck in blue belt too.
That's true. Yeah.
Because you're not learning and trying to get better. Now, the fact that you look at your content and think that it sucks is great. If you keep looking at the content and you think that it sucks, you're gonna either quit or you're gonna make it better.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you keep making it better, right?
Yeah.
Like normally the entrepreneurs and stuff that I mentor, who build businesses with, like, I'm not your friend. Like I'm your friend, but I don't want to hear about your little wins.
Yeah.
It's like, you got this. This is great, cool, awesome. But it's more like I'm here to. You go celebrate those things with your friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to go change the world. And that's all I want to talk about. Right? So like, congrats, yay.
Yeah.
Let's cross the sidewalk. But like, we're here to do something much bigger. So like, you get enough of the you rock. Like when somebody comes in and they feel like they're awesome, that's usually when it's like, okay, dude, you suck. Like, you think you have a great podcast? This is like nothing burger, dude. Right? But if they come in and you felt like, man, I don't know, my podcast sucks. And I like, then that's where you lift the person back up. I think that's like what great coaches will do. When somebody comes in with a huge head, you like tear them back down to where they should be to then build them up. And when somebody comes in really low, then you have to lift them, because you can't push that person who feels like they hate their life. But you're coming in here, and which is a weird energy for people to watch, because if you're talking about your show and saying that it sucks, people in the audience who are watching be like, what do you like? This is so mean, but it's actually like the best thing for the person, because you don't need more people telling you how awesome you are. You need people to hand it to you and say, dude, what are we doing here?
You just sat through me getting feedback on my Twitter. I need to get myself right on my Twitter. I'm doing it by making content. Like usually when people take a break from that, it's because you care about what other people think about you.
True.
So why not post that you're having a hard time with your job?
Because I'm just gonna say it, because a lot of people are saying you don't put your business online, you don't, like, people don't care if you're going through anything bad. So
some people will say that.
Yeah.
But that's like, whose wolf are you listening to? So if you struggle with something, like if I was struggling with something, I would share it. I'm struggling with my Twitter. Share it. Break me down. Because I don't care. Like, you might watch the video and say, oh, this guy doesn't even know how to do Twitter properly. Like, why am I watching his videos or whatever, right? Well, say, okay, listen, I have 200,000 people following me on Twitter. What are you doing? I don't care. I don't care if you think my Twitter sucks. What does it have to do with me? You didn't take a break to go get yourself right. You took a break because you were afraid of how people would judge you.
Yes.
It's fine, and it's normal. But it's like, again, what's the reason?
How have you seen challenges done, and what is like the most interesting challenge that you've participated in?
I think the biggest thing about challenges is it has to feel like it's a community thing, which is why it's not just so the Move Maker Challenge is 1 solo video, 3 collab videos, and 1 lead magnet. The most important part to keep momentum going is the 3 collaborations. The thing that will help the business grow the most is probably the lead magnet.
Yeah.
It's to force people into action. But if it's just something that people are doing by themselves, they're probably not going to do it. And so forcing community and forcing connection is the thing that makes the challenges go. You may not feel like making a video an impact today, but because IG Live with Angela agreed to go live with, like, okay, well, Angela's going to be there, so I'm going to be there, and let's do it together. And then it's great. And then all of a sudden you have content that you didn't have before. And I think a lot of the people, the challenges were born out of, I want 2 things. One, I want people to have more momentum. Like I'm talking and giving strategies around content. We're giving you the template. Like, here's the thought leadership template. Connect to each other. Like, we're saying it, but still some people aren't doing it. So like, how can I force people to do it? It's like, if you just started, right? If you just got going, you'll start to get more momentum. And so that was 1. And 2, I still really believe there's so many amazing connections inside movement makers and inside any community that it can't just run through the leader, right? The fact that you and Bonnie met through my live stream and then started this whole business together, I think that's amazing. I think there's a lot more of those opportunities for people. So if you're going to create your own community, it's great for you to get to know everybody and to help them and to coach them and do one-on-ones and to look at. I mean, I connected you guys together on the live stream because I knew you and I knew Bonnie, and I forget what I said, but like, hey, you should talk about something. Whatever you struggled with the most in life is what you then want to contribute to the world. And happiness, sustained happiness, will come from waking up every day and knowing that the work that you're doing is having a meaningful impact on other people's lives. It's why you do your show. It's why I do my show. It's why I come on other people's shows. If I could spend 20 minutes with Brandon and then say something that hopefully sparks something for your listeners, that makes me feel like what I'm doing is important. I think most people wake up, feel like they know they're capable of more. They know they want to contribute. Serving others, helping others hits the same part in your brain as having food and having sex. So it's which are important.
Right.
So it's hardwired into you. It's hard. You like helping other people, but there's different levels. So, holding the door for somebody
is great. It'll make you feel a little bit happy, or buying a coffee for the person behind you in line. But when you can see somebody who is a younger version of you, in terms of maybe not age, but they're going through something that you went through, and you know that you can be the spark or be a source of hope or inspiration or belief for them and help them get out of their hole, that will fill you up in a way that holding the door for somebody won't. And so it's important as a human to realize that you're capable of great things and you're capable of having a giant impact on people, either the world, you want to serve, the planet, or you want to serve the 25 closest people to you. But if you're not happy, it's because you're not serving.
Success is this mountain that we're climbing.
Yeah.
And you always want to go higher in the mountain. You don't want to stop.
Yes.
You don't just stay at the mountain. You want to keep going. And we look to the people who are ahead of us on the mountain. So ahead of me, you got Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, whatever. Ahead of you, you've got Arnold and whoever, right? People are way ahead of you, or David Goggins or whatever. But we never, you might be at step 1,000 and they're at step 10,000. It feels like it's impossible, you never get there. But you're still at step 1,000. You took 1,000 steps up this mountain. Where are most people stuck?
The bottom.
Step 1, like 0 to 1. How many people even go to the gym? Most people don't go to the gym. 60% of America is obese or overweight, right? Like they don't go to the gym at all. So even the people you're seeing in the gym are already, even just showing up to the gym, you're in the 1%. Even if you're overweight and you're going to the gym, you're in the 1%. So it's recognizing that, okay, you still have, doesn't mean you stop, you still have lots to go, you still want to climb, but most people are stuck at step 0 to 1. What the heck is Ibrahim doing? What's Tito doing? What's Anthony doing? What am I doing? Like all these people who might be way better than you at other things, but in this department, you're miles ahead of them. Like it's nowhere close. But you can help people get to step 900. You can help people get to step 1.
So particularly this younger generation, so at this moment in time, people that are maybe in their late teens, early 20s, what is the biggest misconception that they have about life?
I think one, that they've got a lot right. For all like the people crapping on, I think they've got a lot right. If anything, I would say like lean in harder. I think a lot of the older generation is crapping on the younger. I mean, every older generation always craps on the younger generation, saying they don't work as hard, they have no ethics and all of these things. But man, you could change the world. Like it's never been more possible. I started my YouTube channel when I was 29. So I was just at the end of my 20s and getting it off the ground. You could change the world. So whatever, I would say like stop listening, like believe in the whispers even more. When you're watching Brian's show or other content and then you don't see it in your family, you see your mom is doing something else and your dad is doing something else, like your parents might have as well been pilgrims. Like they are from a different world. Not even a different generation. It's like a different world. Your parents. So like if you're 19 years old and your parents are, 45 years old or whatever you want to call it, man, the opportunities for your parents when they were 19 are vastly different compared to what you have right now. So I would say whatever is in your mind of what you want to do, lean in harder. Like believe in yourself more. It's maybe the anti-message compared to what most people are pushing, but you could go and change the world.
I think if you stay consistent on those 3 things, the thought leadership videos, the document the process, and then the coaching.
Yeah.
And just making sure that it's always coming out.
Yeah.
And so getting a little bit ahead on the schedule so that even if you haven't done a coaching video in a while, you still have a backlog to be able to release. If I don't see a coaching video for a while, then I don't know that you're a coach.
Yeah.
And if I only see you doing interviews, then I think you're an interviewer, right? And the interviews would be a 4th like bonus series. If it helps, cool, you do it. If you don't want to do it, doesn't matter. If it leads to business relationships, awesome. But that won't be as consistent as like every week has to be, because those are harder to book too.
Yeah.
You need the right people, their time may not line up.
Yeah.
You might be traveling. For you to film a video walking back to your hotel, you could do it, right?
Yeah.
To book a guest, walking back to your hotel. So any guest stuff is when it happens. And it's also the least important series on the channel.
Yeah.
ignoring the haters or dealing with critics is a common theme. And I think it cripples a lot of people from moving forward in their business or their career. You're just worried how you're going to be judged. So lots of successful people, every successful person has to go through that of dealing with criticism. And so how Oprah explains it versus how Kanye explains it will be totally different. But we'll put them together in a video with 6 other people all talking about the same thing. And hopefully it, one, shows you that all successful people have to deal with it, but also maybe one of those strategies will help you. Like you may say, well, I hate what Wayne Dyer said there, but I love what Kanye said. I'm going to try that on. Or I love what Oprah said. I'm going to try that on. Or I love what James said. I'm going to try that on. And hopefully it gives you some strategies that you won't be able to get from the people in your immediate environment because they're not the success you want to be.
I'm genuinely curious and I want people to win. Like, why are you asking me this question? I want you to, however that shows up in your life, in terms of not listening to people, I want you to be able to get the answers you're looking for. And I can hold on to it because I'm curious about your situation. I'm thinking, why is he asking me this question? How does it relate to his life beyond just like, I forgot we're making, you're pressing record, right? It's just about helping you. So I'm genuinely curious about people and trying to figure out how I can help them. And so the other part about holding on to a conversation or holding on to listen is sometimes they'll say something, or even the way they say something tells you about that person. It can help me, even if I have the answer. Here's what often happens. I'll have the answer, but I don't know how to say it yet. And I want to deliver in a way that you will hear best. And so the more you talk, the more you're giving me information about you. Your tonality, your history, your stories, your vocabulary, all of it is helping me help you. So how somebody shows up to something is how they often show up to anything. And so the more someone's talking, the more it gives me the tools to be able to help them. Because I can have the answer, but if I don't deliver it in the right package, it doesn't get received. So the answer could be curiosity, but the way that I package it will depend on who I'm talking to. If I treat everybody like they're me, then it won't happen, or very few people will be able to listen. But if I can, it's why did I put on music that you like when I have a playlist of like 700 videos? Why put on the old school rap and a couple of Afro beats that you may not have heard of, but it's like still within, I could be putting on Croatian music or Japanese music, or not that you wouldn't appreciate it, but I would rather I try to enter your world than try to force it to enter mine. Because if I can enter your world, I can have a bigger impact versus forcing you to listen to what I want to listen to or come into my world.
My book, Built to Serve, is a result of me coaching tons of people through the process. And all the objections and all the roadblocks and all the but yeah, what if are all addressed because I've guided people through it enough. I have the pattern recognition. You've coached and mentored enough people that now you have the pattern recognition to know, here's where people are going to fall down. Here are the common questions they're going to ask. So when you're making a YouTube video, you're just talking to a camera most of the time. And so you have to know who the people are behind you, watching the video. If you're going to speak on stage, you're not speaking to 1,000 people, 2,000 people. You're speaking to individuals. So if you've never coached and you've never helped people, you don't know what the message is. You can give an inspirational message, but your goal is to actually have the impact. And so I'd be looking for how can I, as quick as possible, get to coaching people, even for free, just to build the muscle, just to build the experience, to get the pattern recognition so that once you start shifting people, so you're looking for people on Instagram, like super tactical, look for people on Instagram who are complaining about their life or a certain area of their life that you have a skill set in. So if it's branding, talk about people saying, I can't figure out my branding. I suck at branding, whatever. And then you reach out and say, hey, I've got a couple of big ideas for you. Happy to hop on a 25-minute free call to discuss them, right? That's what, if you have a skill set and expertise, you should be doing daily outreach to people and getting on calls. Your goal with the call would then be to, one, gain experience, and then two, be so good that they message you back and say, hey, can I hire you? Do you do any consulting work or do you coach? If you're doing free calls and nobody says, hey, can I bring you back? Then you're not good enough yet. And that's okay. How do you get good? More practice, more repetition, more learning.
What does being well and strong mean to you?
I would say feeling like what you're doing matters every day. I think there's a lot of content and a lot of great advice around health and diet and exercise and all of this stuff, which is great. And I'm not the expert on that. But one of the things I found to be the most helpful for me is just feeling like what I do matters. When people ask me, like, how are you so optimistic or happy or energetic all the time. Like, well, at first I'm not. But second, it's like, it's not my diet. You know, I could eat Snickers every day and I would be 50 pounds heavier, but I'd still have energy. Like, let's go. I'm ready to do this interview.
Yeah.
Why? Because I feel like the work that I do matters, and it might matter to the world or might matter to 5 people. But if you could actually connect the work you're doing to somebody else, like, it's not just about you. Like you mentioned, you did this because of your mom as a starting point. And now all the people that you're able to help who are like you and like your mom is incredible. And you're still getting started. Fast forward to episode 340 and holy cow, how many lives are you going to have touched and changed? And people coming up and say, like, your episode number 48, like, made a huge life-changing moment for me. Like, if you can actually feel that every day, that what you're doing is going to impact somebody else. Like, it's not enough to just to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You
Love
need
that.
to feel like you're contributing to somebody else in some way. And if you actually felt that, I think if you combine that with all the health and exercise and diet and all that, feeling like what you're doing matters, I think, well, that'd be my definition of well and strong. Personal brand is everything, but you already have a brand. Like anybody watching, you have a brand already. A brand is an emotion. When people are talking about you, what are they saying? The main way that most of these businesses grow is word of mouth and referrals, right? I mean, maybe you got some start with advertising or whatever, but it's usually word of mouth. Somebody says, hey, you should hire Rob to do this. You should hire Dennis to do this, whatever. So what are they saying about you? That's your brand. Whether you're affordable, whether you are pleasant to work with, whether you take time to listen, whether you're understanding, whether like whatever it is that you're already doing that people love talking about you, that is now just brought into the content. So you don't have to create this new persona of somebody who isn't you. You already have a brand. People are already saying great things. So if dependability is the main thing, like, yes, I am Mr. Dependable. Cool. Now, when you're making content, talk about dependability. Talk about how important that is to you. Talk about examples of client stories where you were the dependable one, right? So it's more, the easier we can tie it into who you already are, as opposed to giving you all sorts of new things that you have to memorize and be fake about. It's just easier to get the ball rolling. So personal brand is super important, but it's not a content thing. You already have a personal brand. What the other contractors around you are saying about you really matters. What your clients say about you really matters. What your Google reviews say about you really matters. All those scores really matter. And whatever words are coming up in those conversations, that already is your personal brand. So now it's just amplifying that a little bit more through content so I can feel that when I see your videos and it makes me want to hire you.
What would be Evan Carmichael's, after 10,000 experiments, what would be your 90-day game plan, so to speak, depending on the niche?
Right. What a great question. Well, first, you pick a niche that you actually care about and you love. That's got to be it. Because if you do anything in entrepreneurship, but you're not absolutely obsessed with it, you're just not going to have success. And I know that that's a message that in all your interviews, people keep saying some kind of variation of that, right? Like you actually have to love the thing. So I loved how you even started yours of, okay, I don't know what I want to do in my life, so I'm going to go talk to people who are doing it. Mm-hmm. Expect a pivot. So you did, it's a day in the life. Oh my God, this is way harder to film than I thought. But if I just sit down with them, I can get some great questions out. And what I love about yours is too, you ask questions that you personally care about.
Right.
So it's not just what you think your audience is going to care about, but you almost turn them into coaching sessions for Omar, which is great. That it makes it actually more interesting and enjoyable for somebody watching as well. So whatever you're curious about to start to explore that, I think you need to determine, are you the expert or are you on your journey to discover, right? So at the beginning, you weren't the expert. So it's not Omar coming on to say, okay, here's how you have success in entrepreneurship, or here's how you ask great questions, because he hadn't done any of that yet. So it's just showcasing the journey and you being curious to ask great questions. But now you've gone through it. Now you could make those videos. Now you could say, hey, here's how you get great guests. Here's how you ask great questions. Here's how you get comfortable in front of the camera. Right. So evaluating where you are at, are you the expert or are you the beginner? The beginner shows more of the journey to become the expert. The expert is the expert. So it's sharing your knowledge and information. And as you go on that trail of becoming, you start to adjust some of your content. So maybe it's all 100% journey of, but then as you start getting better, you start injecting more teaching. So it's 20% teaching and 40% teaching and eventually 80, 100% teaching because you become so good at what you're doing. I think if you wake up and you're in a crappy environment and it's not your upbringing and it's not, your family isn't successful, your family's telling you go to school and, all the stuff that you might be fighting against, it's really hard to be on an island fighting the world. And so to know that Bill Gates thinks this way and Oprah Winfrey thinks this way and all these people that I look up to think this way, but my family and the people around me, they don't. You need to shut down the negativity or limit access at least to it. And then in that void, fill it with positivity, with the messages that you want to hear. And so the goal with my channel is to provide as much of a spectrum, because if you watch the same video every day, the message will decline. It's not going to have the impact anymore. But if I'm talking about belief, like belief is in every video in some form.
That's your one word.
It's my one word.
One word.
Whether we say believe or not, it's the theme through everything. But if you watch that same Les Brown video, you're not going to feel the same effect a week from today, a month from today, if you watch it every single day. But you come back to the channel, there's going to be a new piece of content. I produce more than people can consume, which I like. I'm a channel, I'm not a show. I don't need people to watch. I'm upset if people are watching every single show on my channel. You got to go off and do. I want people to work, right? Go chase your dream. Don't just get inspired and watch something. But there's always something there for you. So if you ever feel like you need more belief in your life, people comment and say, you believe in me more than anybody else in my life. It's I don't even know you. That's how little belief they get from the people around them. I just need to be 1% better today. Oh. I just need to make one more call or do one more rep or do one more push-up or read one more page. Most people, that's not their default mindset. And most people in your life, that's not what you're being pushed to do or told to do. But if you keep hanging out with Zach, and virtually, right? I mean, Zach, as far as I know, is not taking on interns, or you can go live with him for a month or something. But you can learn from him virtually. And if nobody else is telling you about the 1% concept, but every time you listen to Zach and there it is again, and there it is again, it will force you to start to become that person. So most of the people in our lives are not pushing us forward in a loving way. Hopefully we have people who love us, but they're giving us an agenda of what they want us to do with our lives. And you want to limit access to the people who make you feel worse, who you feel drained about, and then start filling that void with the people who make you feel better. So, if you want more belief, come follow me. You want more 1% better every day, go follow Zach. And when you find those people, surround yourself with them. My energy actually goes up over the day. So you get the best of me actually at the end of the day compared to the beginning. And so I like staying in that one frame of mind for the whole day. The side note to that, not the thing that's going to blow your face off, is you also force yourself in a limited time to get stuff done. So Tuesday, I need to get all my videos done. I need to. It has to happen. So I'm not filming on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. I got other stuff to do. So I have to get it done in that amount of time. And so it forces you to be productive. Here's to blow your face off. This is the moment. I like to miss it. So Tuesday's my YouTube day. I don't touch it again until Tuesday. So come Friday, Saturday, I'm I miss YouTube videos. I want to get back in. I like missing my work. So by Monday, I've done all my mentoring. I'm done. And then Tuesday, I don't want to talk to anybody and mentor them again because I've done the entire day. But then come Thursday, Friday, I can't wait till Monday happens again. So every day I'm looking forward to the day ahead because I haven't done it for a week.
For everybody, maybe just a final message, who is on the fence or this isn't for me, or I don't know, or I didn't go to school for this, or I don't have the face for videos or whatever. Just remember the standard is so low that it's not that hard to stand out. So you're not competing in the media business. You're not going up against all these big name entrepreneurs and people who are used to being on TV. You're going up against your local market and competition. And to Rob's point about we answer calls, it's not that hard to stand out. Oh, you're professional. It's not like he's doing these amazing things that are groundbreaking. Your competition is not very sophisticated and they have all the same excuses that you do. And they don't even have the information or have thought about doing something like getting on YouTube and making videos. But because you're subscribed to this show and you listen to this and you got Rob as a mentor, take that idea that we're planting now and do something with it, because the standard is so low in your industry that even if it's just you talking to a camera in your van, that might net you a whole bunch of clients.
The first step is the hardest. And then it's easy to criticize yourself and judge yourself and look at it and say, oh my gosh, that sucked. I can't believe whatever. I asked that stupid question or all of the things that we are usually our own worst critic, where people looking back don't even notice the things that we notice.
So true.
But the most important thing is that you just keep going.
You know, if you look at my YouTube journey, I show the numbers on my homepage of like year over year growth. I forget
noticed
what it is. It's like 5 years in, I still only had a couple thousand subscribers. After 5 years of making content, you know, most people look at that and say, "Oh, I'm a failure. I should stop. I should quit." Like, it's not like you only tried it for 5 weeks. It was 5 years, but it just kept going, and I kept focusing on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't. And the fact that 50 people watched that video, I was like, 50 people watched that video. This is 50 people, you know? So the only thing I had going for me was I just kept doing it. You know, I was introverted, shy, afraid to ask for help, super critical, judgmental, couldn't watch my first 350 videos back without, like, I couldn't watch it. First 350 videos.
I resonate with that.
Look at it. And it took 700 public videos until I inspired myself, where I looked at it, it's like, like, that was
pretty good. Pat yourself on the shoulder.
You know what? Like, okay. Not bad, Carmichael. Not bad. 700 videos in, right? I just kept going. And that focus on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't serving really, really helped me.
The more you listen, like I had an answer to you halfway through you talking. I didn't interrupt you because if you feel like you get to finish your question, you'll listen to my answer more. It's just more respectful. The more that if you were to come on a Monday and watch me coach Alex or whatever, who you met at Mastermind, yes, I won't let him finish a question and talk forever. Because like he knows that if I'm interrupting him, it's because I love him and I want him to win. Where other people, if you're interrupting them, they see it as you're rude and you're not listening, right? So the more I get to know somebody, the more they know that the foundation is love, then it allows you to be a lot harsher and interrupt more and go faster and push harder and tell them that, dude, this sucks. Like you should have known better. You shouldn't be doing this, and you should not be making these mistakes anymore. We've gone over this 100 times. Like, you're better than this. That you can't have with somebody who doesn't know you very well, right? So Alex is like a brother, or he's like a kid, or whatever. Like he's family. So he likes that now because it's helping him grow. But somebody brand new who you don't have a lot of context on, you can't just jump there. So if you let them finish, then they're much more likely to listen. And so what do I care about? Do I care about me saying what I'm saying, or do I care about you hearing what I'm saying? I care about you hearing what I'm saying. I don't need to talk. It doesn't do me any good. I want you to, or whoever I'm talking to take the thing I'm saying and go do something with. But if I interrupt you, then chances are you're not going to then listen to what I'm saying, because you're saying, this guy just interrupted me. I wasn't even done. He doesn't even understand what I'm talking about. Like, you're thinking that, so then you're not listening to my answer, and then you're not getting the actual help.
It's inspiring to see you doing this.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to see someone from Norway and a woman from Norway betting on herself to do these things. And so showing the journey and any self-doubt you might have, or any concerns you might have, or this is why I went to Toronto, like most people won't do this kind of thing. Come here.
And that's so true. Like every time I share that I'm here, people are like, wow, it's so inspiring. And I really, like, one of the things I want to is to just help people believe that everything is possible, that they can do whatever they want to.
That's a good word.
Yeah. There it was.
But your job as a thought leader is to teach people to think like you think. You see things differently. And it's normal for you. I'm coming to Toronto. Like, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go surfing in California before. And he's like, of course. But that's weird, right? For most people in Norway, when they look at that, it's like, what? This is some crazy life that she's living. And it is crazy, but it's not crazy for you. This is just you living. So it's bringing people into, how did you develop this mindset?
Yeah.
To believe that you could even do this, to launch a course, to join masterminds, to fly around the world, to meet people. It's a different way of thinking. It's not doing it to show off and say, look at how fabulous my life is, but it's to take people behind the thought process that you have, so that you're teaching them a way to think that they can apply to their life. It doesn't mean that they go join some expensive mastermind in a different country, right? Maybe it does, but it may encourage them to seek help, or to take an online conference or something, to realize that they don't have to stay stuck.
To reprogram your mind like Zig Ziglar, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
We program ourselves. For example, an overweight person sits down at the table and says, everything I eat turns to fat. We lay down late at night, we know we got to get up early tomorrow morning. We look at our watch and say, boy, I bet I'm going to feel bad tomorrow.